Life is going to change for you. If there's one thing that I've learned that you can absolutely depend on, that this is truth, life is going to change for you. 32 years ago, we were working on our very first Thanksgiving dinner here at Central Community. Debbie and I were 33 years old. Our daughter Julie was 6 years old. Our son John was 3 years old. And we were working around to figure out how we were going to do Thanksgiving here at the church and make it into Orange County to have Thanksgiving there, as we planned out what we were going to do for Christmas. I remember rounding up a group of friends to work. I could go through and name off a lot of those people that came out and worked that first Thanksgiving with us. They were all people just like us, people in their 30s, people with little kids. We all got together and we spent our Thanksgiving that day. I remember at the end of the day, as we broke down everything, as we took down chairs that hadn't been sat in, as we took down tables and decorations that hadn't been appreciated by anyone because no one came, we thought about what we should do differently for the next year. I remember Joe Lacombe saying, we really need a TV in one of these rooms so we can watch a football game. We were all in our early 30s, and I don't even know if Joe was 30 yet, and he said, football team, football game, we need to have that on Thanksgiving. And we all said, yeah, that's a great idea. That was an important change that we needed to make. Well, Debbie and I are 65 years old now. The Thanksgiving dinner is not going to be without anyone here. We already have 3,000 reservations, not counting the people that are going to be eating here at the church. We're already talking a week away from Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving's a week away. We're talking about what should we do about people who call from this point forward. Are we going to have enough food? I never imagined thinking, part of my job was going to be calculating how much each turkey weighed, how many turkeys we were going to need, because at 18 pounds each, right now we need 250 turkeys. But at 22 pounds each, well, we'll be okay with, say, 230 or 240, but if they're, 16 or 14 pounds each, we'll need 300. Who imagines ever being that person? We're going to need 500 pies. And thinking about actually doing that and thinking, we could probably skate by if we get 300 pies if they're all the Costco pies. But here we are. That's what happens to us in life. Life changes. Behind me are the backpacks. This is just the beginning of our season. We're going to have a Christmas party at Siempre para los Niños. We never imagined that 32 years ago when we came here, that we would ever have a church in Mexico, that we would ever build houses for so many families in Mexico, all those houses. And we never imagined that we'd build an orphanage and then add on to the orphanage, add on to the orphanage, add on to the orphanage until it's a 40,000 square foot facility down there. Just never imagined it. But now we're going to be able to have the Christmas party for that on Wednesday, December 18th. We're planning for that. Christmas Eve services on December 24th, which we started that year. We're looking forward to that at 7 and 11 o'clock. But the backpacks, on December 22nd, I think it is, maybe. Let's see, 23rd, 24th. Yeah, I think it's the 22nd. We'll be having our Jackets for Jesus Christmas party on the street. We had our first one 30 years ago, probably. Yeah, 30 years ago this year. This will be our 30th Christmas party on the streets. We never imagined that someday we would have tons of backpacks. That's 400 behind me. We still have another 300 to buy, to be able to hand out to people and say, what you need to do with this backpack is go ahead and fill it with whatever you would want if you were on the street and you were homeless. It's been raining this week and the homeless have been getting soaked. What would you want if you had been amongst the homeless this week? I hear people still quote that old thing. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? He would fill a backpack with everything and carry it down in love. What would Jesus do? Jesus would be making sure that every single person who was going without at Thanksgiving or being alone had all they needed, that he could reach in and multiply and feed all the masses. He would say, no, you do it. is what he said to his disciples when they said, "What are we supposed to do?" He said, "You do it." What would Jesus do? He would say, "Suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." I like to think, as we come into this insane time of the season for us, where we're all focused on Black Friday and what to get for Christmas presents and things like that, that hopefully at the core of what we're doing here at Central Community is what Jesus would be doing on the streets, at Siempre, at Thanksgiving, in our services on our knees, celebrating. And you're invited to do that too. Because across the years, if there's one thing I've learned, like I started saying, is things change. 65 years old, so much of this has changed, but the anticipation of it, the excitement, the waiting for it all to happen, the labor in between, that's only accelerated. And it's only counted down. I wonder how many more times I'm going to get to do this. I wonder how many more times it's going to get to be my opportunity, not just responsibility, not just my job, not just my obligation, but my opportunity to share. And so I find myself when I talk to people on the phone saying to them, "Thank you so much for letting me share your Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come into your home." You see, I don't want to spend my life in mediocrity. I want my life to be filled with the miraculous, to be willing to take on the great big things in life, because your life is worthy of the great big things. And just to jump in with both feet. This is the biggest season of the year for so many of us. Come out and join us. Come out and be a part of what we're doing. Come out and celebrate the miracle. I remember maybe last year, the year before, a woman came up and introduced herself to me, hugged me. I'd never met her before, never seen her before, at the Thanksgiving dinner. She was in the crowd of volunteers, hundreds of volunteers. And she said, "I saw about this online and I drove from Utah with my daughter to participate in this." I said, "You're kidding me." I said, "No, I drove all the way from Utah. I so much wanted to be a part of this." Don't be afraid to come out and be a part of this. This is going to be an incredible month. Let's be together during this. These are the moments we were created for. Hey, you're invited to be the miracle, and I want to be the miracle with you. Let's be the miracle together. God bless you. Have an absolutely fantastic evening.